your car from it, okay? And what's that gonna do? Well, it's not gonna get any tensile stresses in there, right? Can't get tensile stresses in that hole because that would require that I'd be yanking hold of the material and pulling on it, right? I'd have to weld something in there, some kind of crazy thing to try to get that, right? So my loading around the holes is sort of by definition right now, bad, right? And that's because, of course, I did a force thing, and then you remember that, wasn't that professor saying something else about there are other things you could do there? And so let's delete that darn thing, if that's a wrong thing to do. So how about forces? What else could we do?
Bearing load.
Ooh, bearing load. And if we do a bearing load, the first thing it wants is it wants a coordinate system. Oh, expletive deleted. Okay, well, go back to the features over here. Let's go hide this guy, right? So there we go. We'll go back to this guy over here. And now we gotta do reference geometry, right? We need a coordinate system. In order to make a coordinate system, I need a point. So we start with a point. Okay, how do I wanna make a point? How about some arc center? Right, okay, how about the center of that thing there? Doesn't like it, center of that one there, that's fine. Give me a point, center of a circle, that's a fine point. Okay, then we need a coordinate system, right? So, okay, even pick the point. Where do I want the z-axis? Well, I want the z-axis to align with the cylinder. That's the way the z-axis aligns. We got the y-axis going vertically down, the x-axis going this way. I don't really care which way the x-axis goes, right? The y-axis is going vertically. I don't really care which way the x-axis goes. If I wanted to, I could probably specify the x-axis here. And there it goes over the other way. Now it's going out that direction. I'm just gonna take that. So we have a coordinate system, right? Where x is going out this way and y is going out that way. And of course, z is aligned with the axis of the hole, which is the requirement for those. So now we can go back to the simulation, right? And we can go do our external loads and put the bearing load on there. It even has the coordinate system. I can pick that nice thing there. And I can say I want to do it in the y direction and not in the x direction, and I want to do 5,000 pounds. And it wants to go the other 5,000 pounds. I look at the arrows. Let's go on to going down, 5,000 pounds. Looks like that's what I got there. And so now I've got a nice load in there that's pushing down on the bottom, right, 5,000 pounds. And we can go ahead and run this again. And now we get some things around the hole that are starting to look a little better, right? It's trying to distort the hole. It's not perfect. It's letting the hole deform a bit more than it should because we're pushing on it. What's it doing? It's stretching the hole. Probably won't be allowed to do that because there's a pin in there. We could play with the stress distribution and make it circular instead of parabolic. It might work a little better. Doesn't really matter. It's not going to change enough to affect things. Okay, so that's not bad, right? Now, let's see. Well, we don't like we got stress concentrations. They're still kind of nasty here, but we know how to deal with those things now. What do? We turn on the adaptive stuff, right? We go to the properties. We go, hey, we're going to H adaptive. We'll crank it up. We'll give you lots. We'll go through 5 times. I won't even course in the mesh here. So I'll say okay there. Let's see what the mesh looks like to begin with, just so we can get detail. I start with 2,500 nodes, right? It's where I am right now. We can go ahead and run this. It goes through in chugs. 2, 3, 4. Okay, looks like it stopped, right? And if we look at the mesh, right, show the mesh, right, what did we do? Well, it looks like it made a few more elements around the hole, but it looks like it made an awful lot of elements right around these corners here. Right? And I got a few here at the top, which are, okay, so I got an awful lot of elements, and if I want to look at the stress, I can show the stresses, and what does it show? It shows we have real hot spots in there, right? So, okay, well, let's run it again and see if it gets any better. Okay, so I don't know about you, but it looks like it's just getting, the stress up here looks to be just getting higher and higher, right? I mean, I think this value just keeps getting bigger. I'm up at 180,000 now. Right? And it seems to be just keep going higher. And guess what? If I keep running it again, it's going to get even bigger, right? And if we look at the mesh in here, let's just go show the mesh. First of all, we can look at the details of the mesh. I've got 100,000 nodes now. Started off with 2,500. And if I look at the, come on, mesh, show the mesh. What do we see? I got a ridiculous amount of elements right in that groove, right, and pretty much no change anywhere else. Okay, so now, do we believe this?
More than we did?
So, do we believe this stuff? Well, first of all, I'm getting stresses that are, if I keep refining the mesh, all I'm going to do is get higher and higher and higher stresses. No matter what I do, the stresses are always in one node, right? They're always right in here. I mean, I zoom in, they're all in a node, right? They have very high stress gradients, right? They're all there. And that's not going to go away because it's a stress concentration. It's a square corner, right? What's it going to do? It's going to sit there and just do nasty things to me. So you're going, okay, we can do better than that, right? We can weld it up. Okay, let's go try to do that. Right, we can do better. Right, we can go weld the darn thing up, right? So let's go back to our features over here. We go, hey, you know, well, I want to hide you, right? So I'll go back to our features over here, right? We can go, hey, where is this chamfer thing here? I'm going to edit that thing. What I really want is I don't just want those two edges, but I want that edge up there. Come on. I want that edge up there. And I want, in fact, it's even giving me that edge on the bottom. Doesn't that look good? Now I got it all the way around. Not exactly what the drawing shows, but you know, shoot, we can mod the part to do that, right? And life will be good. Buying that? I hate when it does things that I don't like, which is only when I use it. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got this. We can go back to our weldment here. Right, okay, back to our model. The mesh is, of course, all destroyed, so we're going to have to restart with the mesh again, right? We're going to have to create the mesh, right, and we'll create the mesh, start over with new mesh, what we got, right, and then we'll run this thing again. What's it gonna do? It's gonna chug through it again. We got about 26,000, 36,000, 50,000, 54,000. And boy, it's looking like it's getting corners again. And if we run it again, 54,000. It's got, ooh, there's a million, there's 100,000. And there's 200,000. And there's 500,000. And there's a million. Okay. So, we'll expletive that. That didn't seem to help any, right? And it's even hard to tell where they are because they're so small, right? Not entirely sure where they are. So there's actually a way to get it to show the highest. And I'm going to have to do chart options. Yeah, show maximum. Okay. So it'll show me where the maximum is, which in this particular case, oh, it's up in there somewhere. 900,000. Oh, it's up on that edge over there. So that's on. Okay, am I worried about it up over here?
No.
No, that's on a boundary condition, right? Right. It's all that force is on a boundary condition over there. If I wanted to, I could try to get out of that one, right? That's not making any sense. Maybe it is behaving itself, just blowing up on a boundary condition. Okay, well, let's go fix the boundary conditions. I think that was that one there. Edit the definition, right? I only had one edge on it. Let's click the bottom edge down here. Same way, just so that neither one of them can move and we'll share the load between them maybe. See if that doesn't help, as long as I'm far enough away from them. Right, we could even try running this thing again here. Oh, I'm down to 700,000. No, 1.4 million. And it's still up there on the top. Did I not get mine on the bottom there? I don't know if I got it on the bottom. I don't see my, I may not have finished it. I'm up to, what, 2 million here, 2.5 million on the top? Okay. It's the other place that there's a stress concentration. Oh, 4 million, yeah, almost 5, right? Okay. Okay, we buying any of this?
No.
Here, it's gonna run it again, right? It's gonna stop this time because it's gone through 5 times. We wanna go through and look at how many elements we got up there. We do the details here. Yeah, we've got almost 200,000 nodes, right? And they're all gonna be up on those ends. Did I not get my fixtures in there? I thought it's got 2 of them there. Not sure why should have both of them, right? I don't see it on the bottom there though. Okay, so, okay, I don't see it showing me up there that I have that fixture. Let me go look at the mesh, and see what the mesh is doing. See, we have the mesh is very refined up here at the top, right? Now, one of the things that may be an indication is that we're not far enough away, right? It's coming in right in here, so it's making a load path down there, so maybe we need to go up bigger, right? further away from it, right, because it hasn't gotten its way all out. I don't know if it's doing the same at the bottom though, and it doesn't look like it's doing the same at the bottom, so I don't think I'm getting that. I don't think my fixture got in there, which is, I'm surprised. It's got that one in there. It's got that one. It's only got that one there, right? Okay, it shows it in there. And let me do that top one. Well, you can do a couple of things in there. We could keep doing this. I could change the boundary conditions to be something else. I can make the thing bigger, which I probably ought to. Go back to the model here, and we'll get this guy here. There's that sketch. Okay, so edit the sketch here, and let's see, I'm gonna put a dimension on here from the origin to here. Right now I've got 7.5 inches, let's make it like, what, 12 inches? Okay, that's not gonna be good. And then, okay, so let's make the, and let's make that about, what, 15 inches. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make it a lot taller. Right? What do we do? We'll blow it up there a little bit. Okay? And if we want to, we can do the same with this one. Right? Let's make that about 5 inches. And then we'll make this guy about 10 inches. Right? We'll get it a little bit out of the plane there, get farther away from it. Okay. There we go. We're back to it again. We can go back to our weldment. We can remesh this thing. There's our mesh to begin with, and we can rerun the study here again. Well, it's better in that at least it's not at the edges now, right? Our high points are in here. Now, they're still in stress concentrations, right? But we can run it again and see if they get better. They're better than they were. And we get 700,000? Yeah, 130,000. So 290,000. Yes, 600,000, right? And all my stresses while they're here, right, are gonna be down in these little friggin' corners, right? They're gonna be in these funny little corners somewhere. If I do the options, let's show me the maximum. Where is the maximum? Oh, it's down at the bottom now. I'm getting the same problem. I must not have moved this one far enough away. Got the top one far enough away, I must not have moved this one far enough away. So now I got all those stresses showing up here down at the bottom, right? And if we look at the mesh, I can show the mesh here. It's gonna be refining the mesh, show the mesh, right? It's refining the dickens out of that bottom. The top is actually looking pretty good here. I got a little bit of mess over in this corner, which is because of this displacement constraint in here. But that one's probably not bothering me pretty much. The others are looking pretty good. Now, do you think this is gonna converge to anything reasonable? I don't know, it's still got sharp corners in it, right? Now, there's another problem with this. Right, that how did we model this? We model this as one monolithic thing. Right? One great big monolithic thing. And how are they actually going to make this?
Two pieces welded together.
Right. Two pieces welded together. Now, there's an interesting question of, we're assuming that it's welded
All the way through.
all the way through the center. Well, 1/2 inch, yeah, you can grind it now. And we can get a full penetration weld. It's called a full penetration weld, not a full strength weld. It's quite a bit more expensive to do because you have to basically grind enough room to get the weld all the way into the center there. But, and it may or may not be a real good assumption, right? Okay. So if it's not a real good assumption, then